Hi, my name is Prumihimo and Kumihimo is my favourite technique and my great passion as well. But I also love to join in with other crazes that are going on and try to bring them into my Kumihimo. So this is the third in a series of 3 videos about using carrier beads, the great new craze in bead weaving at the moment, with Kumihimo. So in the first video I showed how to make this necklace. In the second video, I showed how to make this necklace. So time for a bracelet really, isn't it? And so this is what we're going to make in this video. And as I've said before in the other ones, this is not about how to actually do the carrier beads, because there are lots of videos to that. This is how to join your carrier beads with Kumihimo. And my aim is to inspire you, to show you different ways that you can use carrier beads and Kumihimo together and get your own effect. So this is a close-up of the bracelet. And this is a little bit different to the ones I've shown so far, the designs I've shown so far, because rather than having knotting in between the carrier beads, I've used bugle beads. And here these are Miyuki bugle beads. So it gives a slightly different effect. And I think you can have a lot of fun with playing with this, with having extra length, making it into necklaces. If you wanted to get a curve, you'd just have an extra, so 2 bugle beads on the bottom, 1 on the top. You have a lot of fun playing with this. The materials you need for this are your starting point are of course your carrier beads. Now I have used the plastic ones here which have larger holes, and the cord I have used to go with these is Eslon Tex 210, which is 0.5mm in diameter. If you want to use the glass beads, they have smaller holes, so you will need to use the narrower Eslon, which is the 0.4, and that's Tex 135. So whichever one you use, you need 8 cords of 1 metre, and that is 40 inches. Now I'm going to show you how the beads are threaded on, and this is a slightly different beads because I've had a lot of fun making these carrier beads, as I know many people have. So what you need to do is you do also need to be sure that you're going to be able to get your cords through the beads. Now at this point here we've actually got 2 cords going through size 8 beads, so before you get started do make sure you can get 2 cords through your size 8s. You should be able to. Some beads have slightly larger holes than others, so it's a matter of just checking what you've got. So the threading for this is, so we've got our 8 cords, and what we do is we start off by threading 2 cords through 3 size 8s, and we do it again. So that means we've got 2 cords with 3 size 8s, 2 cords with 3 size 8s, and then we take those cords through the upper hole on the carrier bead. And if you just stiffen your cords a little bit with something like clear nail varnish or with super glue, then that will help you get through. But a little warning on that, just a dab, too much will actually make the cords absorb the glue and make them a little bit fatter. So you only need a tiny bit and let it harden. So you come through your carrier bead, and then, so now you've got 4 cords here, and they've each gone through a bugle bead. And it can be a snug fit, so again this is where the stiffening really helps. So we've got 4 bugle beads there, 1 on each cord. Then we go through the carrier bead, then each cord gets its bugle bead, through the carrier bead, and then when we come out here we divide those 4 cords into 2, and 2 of the cords have 3 seed beads and the other 2 3 seed beads. So that gives us our top row, and then you quite simply repeat that threading schedule for the bottom row, and then you just need to tighten it all up. So it's just a matter of pulling those cords up and bracing the carrier bead against the beads, and then the next lot, and again the bugle beads needs to be really pushed up against the carrier bead, and then use the next carrier bead to push them up neatly. And again, again, push up nicely, and then finally my seed beads all moved up. And then you want to make sure, because you will have done a lot of manipulation here, you do need to make sure before you carry on that you're about in the middle of the cords, because you're going to braid on both sides of this central section. So this focal part needs to be in the center of the cords. Then what you need to do is, I have tied a loose knot there for security. I'm going to undo that. I'm now going to take the cords apart, keeping them nice and tight, and I'm going to tie a double knot. So that's one, and what you need to make sure is those beads don't jump over into the knot. So that's 1, 2. Tighten that knot up by pulling on each individual cord. So it's a really neat knot. And on the other side, you'll find some pull up more than others till you're happy with the knot. And then position those cords on the Kumihimo disc. So pull them through, and for this I'm doing beaded sides, fully beaded sides to the bracelet. So I'm going to do round braid, which is Kongo Gumi, and I have videos with lots of information on how to do beaded Kumihimo, and they're well worth watching if you're not familiar, because I give you all sorts of hints and tips. But I'm presuming at this stage that everybody either has done it or has watched my videos. So what I'm doing is just positioning my focal in the middle of the disc, positioning my cords in the slots on either side of the dots in the north, south, east and west positions. Then, this is very important, you need to do 8 individual moves to get the cords into the right positions. Then you can load size 8 beads onto each cord, and I used 15 beads. So you might need a little bit more or a little bit less depending on your wrist size, but 15 on each of the 8 cords is what I used. Then I braided to the end, and then I attached my clasp. And again, I've got videos on all of that. So do watch those if you're not familiar with how to finish off. And have fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope most of all that I've shown you in this series of videos that you can do so much by combining different techniques. These are just 3 ideas I'm showing you. But there are so many other things you could do, and I hope I've inspired you. And so it'd be really lovely if you have been inspired by this. Please do let me know in the comments what you've made and how you've used carrier beads and Kumihimo together. If you have enjoyed this video and would like to see more things, please subscribe to my channel, because you'll find out about all the new videos that I've got coming. But otherwise, have a browse through my Prumihimo YouTube channel, because there are a lot of videos there now covering all aspects of Kumihimo, with the round disc, the square plate, my own invention, the Prumihimo disc, sometimes just Kumihimo on their own, but other times like this with the carrier beads. But I've also got a video on using peyote with a twist with Kumihimo, and I've got lots of ideas coming up of other ways of combining different techniques to get a really individual effect. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.